Welcome to an example on how to use recursive and explicit equations or formulas to model linear growth. Looking at the notes below, the recursive formula for linear growth is P sub n equals P sub n minus 1 plus d, where d is the common difference, and P sub n minus 1 is the amount before P sub n. The explicit formula for linear growth is P sub n equals P sub 0 plus d times n, where again d is the common difference, and P sub 0 is the initial or starting amount. Looking at our example, we're told the number of homes sold is growing according to a linear growth model. The first week, 4 homes were sold, which means P sub 0, the starting amount, equals 4. The second week, a total of 10 homes were sold, which means the next amount, or P sub 1, equals 10. Notice how for this problem, when n equals 1, this corresponds to the first week, and n equals 1 corresponds to the second week. So the week number is 1 more than the value of n. Again, we're also given that P sub 0 is equal to 4, and P sub 1 is equal to 10. Notice how from the first week to the second week, the number of homes sold increases by 6. This tells us the common difference d is equal to positive 6. We can also find d using the formula given here because we have the amount from 2 consecutive weeks. D, the common difference, is equal to P sub n minus P sub n minus 1, which in this case we'd have d is equal to P sub 1 minus P sub 0, which would be 10 minus 4, which equals 6. Either way, the common difference is positive 6. Now we have all the information we need in order to write the recursive and explicit formulas. So first we're asked to write the recursive formula for the number of homes sold P sub n in the n plus 1th week. Again, this is n plus 1 because remember, the week number is 1 more than the value of n for this given problem. This won't affect our recursive formula though. P sub n is equal to P sub n minus 1, the amount from the previous week, plus the common difference, which we know is 6. So this is our recursive formula that models a linear growth. And now for the explicit equation or formula, we have P sub n equals P sub 0 plus d times n. So P sub n is equal to P sub 0, which we know is positive 4, so 4 plus d times n, but we know d is 6, so we have plus 6n. So now we have the explicit equation for the linear growth. And now for the last question, if this trend continues, how many homes will be sold in the 5th week? We need to be careful here. N is not going to be 5 because remember the week number is 1 more than n. So we need to recognize here that n equals 4 represents the 5th week. Again, our formula gives us the number of homes sold in the n plus 1th week. So we need to find P sub 4, and we'll use our explicit equation. So if we know n is equal to 4, we'd have 4 plus 6 times 4, which would be 4 plus 24, or 28. So now we know that 28 homes were sold in the 5th week. I hope you found this helpful.